We're down to our last night in Hammond, and we're going over to another boat in our flotilla to have a final meeting before we pull out of here tomorrow. We're all leaving as a group to head to the wall in Joliet, and we are excited to finally be pulling out of Hammond. We've been here a long time. It hasn't been terrible, but it's longer than we were thinking we would sit in one place. So kind of a captain's meeting or a boat meeting with everyone in our flotilla tonight, get the plan straight, and we pull out of here in the morning.
We're excited.
Looking forward to it. Most Great Loop companion guides and waterway guides state that when leaving Lake Michigan and entering the Illinois waterways, the goal is to make it to the free wall in Joliet, Illinois in one travel day, approximately 43 nautical miles. This route will take us through two locks, the Thomas J. O'Brien lock and the Lockport lock. There are also two choices on where to enter the Illinois rivers from Lake Michigan. Both options will eventually end up in Joliet. First is to go through downtown Chicago. The second option is to travel the Cal-Sag River. Both the Chicago River and the Cal-Sag River eventually merge a few miles west of downtown Chicago. We chose to skip downtown Chicago for a few reasons. One, there is a fixed bridge downtown that is measuring 17 foot 9 as of October 2023. Andromeda's air draft is 17 foot 6. We could have made it under, but 3 inches was just too close for us. Second, they had been working on the Amtrak bridge, a railroad lift bridge. It wasn't working at all for a few days, then it was mostly repaired and only being opened twice daily. We were worried about missing one of those time slots, or the bridge possibly experiencing a malfunction and not opening at all. Remember, we need to be in Joliet tonight to pass through the 3 locks tomorrow with our flotilla, Flotilla 13. We are out of Hammond, Indiana. We are on our way to the entrance to the Cal-Sag. We can see Chicago straight off the bow. I can see that first railroad bridge in the Cal-Sag, which is sort of like the arch or the icon entryway into the river system. We are underway and heading to the rivers.
Here we go.
we are about an hour out of Hammond. A bit of an exciting morning. We got the Flotilla going and went through a couple drawbridges and a train bridge. We're calming down a little bit here, but we're sort of in the industrial area of the river and it's opened up a bit. So we're seeing a lot of barges and industrial complexes, and look who's piloting us down the river. Now you can give a dork wave. There
Dork
you go.
wave. I got my trusty sidekick.
The third mate is in his safety position below the helm. We got 3 more boats in our flotilla behind us. One of them's a sailboat, so we're kind of watching them, and they can only go 6 knots, but they're keeping up. So that's where we are, about an hour out. Everything is going well, and it's a very, very interesting experience.
Here we go. It's our first lock. This is what's caused me a lot of anxiety through this because it's kind of all on me to hold the boat. We're with a huge group of people. Most of them have already done locks. We haven't. So my job is to tell Bob the direction of the boat, bow in, stern in, keeping it straight. And then I need to lasso the bollard when it comes. And then I just basically need to hold the boat as still as I can. Today there wasn't much wind, so it was a pretty nice introduction to the locks. All in all, it was easier than I thought. We did well together, we communicated well, and first one is down. We did it. Well, we're about 7.5 miles into our trip today. We just passed mile marker 307 and rolling down the river at about 7.5 knots. We have finally entered into some nice fall scenery. The trees are lining each bank and the colors are starting to change.
it's really slowed down. It's been nice to get to this point as we were in such an industrial area, and the entrance to the river system is very industrial. So we're enjoying our slow roll down the river. We're about to come up to the junction where the Chicago Sanitary Canal meets our river and catch up with some other boats in our flotilla. And we're going to have a little lunch here before we get to that point, and everything is just going great so far. Well, we are coming up on where the Chicago Sanitary Canal intersects the Cal-Sag Channel. This is the junction that, had we gone through downtown Chicago, this is where we join up with the Chicago Sanitary Canal or the Chicago River through downtown. So as these two rivers come together at this point, Andromeda is now entering the Illinois River.
Alright, we're coming up to the lowest fixed bridge on the loop, and there's a train going over it now. 19.1. So this is what can make or break if you do the loop or not. The other one's all open. We are 17.6, so we should be just fine. Heading into more barges. Tow just went by us. So far there was communication from one of the tow guys that they were waiting. They saw us all coming and they were going to wait and let us through, because there's quite a few of us here right now. So far everything's going really good. Does look low though, doesn't it? But they all went through it. Getting ready to go over this electric fish barrier. It's under the water. This is not the St. Louis Arch. We're entering the electric fish barrier for the Asian carp. Well, now we're leaving the electrical shock hazard area. Find out soon if everything's fine. One boat that went through apparently lost all of their electronics.
Well, the charts all say Illinois River, and it's clearly still the sanitary canal. You can see the man-made concrete sides. That's what we've seen for miles now. So this is the Chicago Sanitary Canal as we approach Joliet, or the Illinois River, or both. It's kind of unclear on our digital charts, but I'll check it out later and see where we're actually at, what it's actually called. I think it is worth a quick explanation of the different river names as you enter the Illinois waterway system. At any given time, we are using between 1 and 4 navigational tools: Navionics, Aquamaps, Google Earth, and our Ray Marine chart plotter. There are times when all 4 apps are displaying the correct navigational data, but the names of these initial rivers are labeled differently from program to program. You are hearing me refer to the river locations by all kinds of different names. The Chicago River starts in Lake Michigan and flows through downtown Chicago. The Chicago River flows about 5 miles where it becomes the Chicago Shipping and Sanitation Canal. The Calumet River leaves Lake Michigan and heads westerly for about 14 miles where it becomes the Calumet-Saganashkee Channel, or the Cal-Sag Channel. The Cal-Sag Channel and the Chicago Shipping and Sanitation Canal merge about 20 miles southwest of downtown Chicago to become just the Chicago Shipping and Sanitation Canal. Here's where a little confusion comes in. The Chicago Shipping and Sanitation Canal parallels the Des Plaines River in this location for about 12 miles. I think this causes some confusion in the navigation apps. 1 mile downriver of the Lockport Lock, just before Joliet, Illinois, the Chicago Shipping and Sanitation Canal merges with the Des Plaines River to become just the Des Plaines River. and it isn't for another 13 miles or so that the Des Plaines River merges with the Kankakee River to become the Illinois River, just before the Dresden Island Lock. If you are new to the Great Loop or planning your Great Loop adventure, don't worry. Follow the charts, be safe, plan ahead. The river names may vary a bit from app to app, but the important data seems to be correct. As my friend Scott reminded me, trust but verify.
We made it to the Lockport Lock. This is the second lock of the day. This time we need to raft to another boat. Everything went good. The biggest thing there is just to not scratch their boat. Feeling pretty good after day one.
There's 3 short bridges that have to be lifted. They're 16.6. Right before we get to Joliet. Just past the second lock. We're almost there.
How was your first day on the loop?
Excellent.
So far.